the Indian Association of Palliative Care, Dr. Raghu, who is the Secretary of the Palliative Care, Dr. Praneeth, Dr. Raju, and all the eminent faculty who have come here for this conference, the 33rd Indian Association of Palliative Care Conference, IAPCON 2026, and all the delegates. I'm really glad that the Sparsh Hospice, which is an innovative idea in Hyderabad, and the Baswatara Hospital, which is a leading hospital which is taking care of the cancer patients, have come together to organize this conference. Actually, we attend so many other conferences of various basic specialties, but I feel this particular conference is something different because as we know that various medical specialties, they have made a remarkable progress. Almost all the medical colleges, the corporate sector hospitals, everywhere we find these specializations, specialties and the departments. But this is one specialty, palliative care, which has to really pick up in India. So as we all know that palliative care, all of you are better judges than me, and it is the one who takes care of the terminally ill and the life-limiting illnesses, and that is where you come into play and give them the support, what is needed, along with the treatment. Now, as we know, when a person in the family is really suffering with pain and with any of these ailments, then ultimately the family thinks about a facility where they can give palliative care to the near and dear ones. Some cannot afford, but the love and affection for the kith and kin is same, and some can afford also. The main problem is there are no adequate centers to cater to this particular requirement, which I think I'm really glad to see so many of you delegates here who are really involved in the palliative care. It is really heartening to see so many people, and I'm sure in the days to come, it will be within the reach of every individual who is in really need of palliative care. As we know, even the government of India and the state government is focusing on this particular field. I think it is apt to mention here that the state government has started palliative care centers in almost all our major hospitals which are attached to teaching hospitals, wherein we have even the geriatric care, even the cancer care centers. These are all the innovative ideas the state government has introduced in various teaching institutions and some of the major district hospitals. And this is where your real palliative care treatment comes into play. But what I personally feel is that a structured program is needed to train. They may not be all qualified palliative care specialists or even palliative care trained paramedics. But a structured program is very important, and that is what is needed for the proper evaluation and trained personnel to be available in nook and corner to treat the patients. This is very important, and this is possible only with this type of conferences, and at the same time, if the number of training centers increase in the medical colleges and in the corporate sector hospitals where they can provide DNB training. I think if you really look at the status of availability of training centers, there are only 21 postgraduate MD seats for palliative care in India, and none of them are in the South India. And when I was just going through the availability of seats, it is really heartening to know a place like Rajasthan has 10 seats, but not a single center from South India is having palliative training program. I think some of the hospitals, including the Vasodhara Hospital, has a DME program. So when I was just sitting and discussing with Dr. Subramanian, I think if we are not able to start even the MD program, we can start the fellowship programs. And that's what this Special is taken up. They have started the fellowship program. And from the university side, I think this should be the motivating other health universities also. They should start fellowship programs wherein a properly planned training program can be imparted to those who are interested in this particular specialty. So, at this juncture, I think there is one more point which comes to my mind is the availability of palliative care centers, not only in government, even the private, and associated hospitals. I know many of these centers are not really lucrative or money stealing. So many enterprising people may not be coming forward. But ultimately here, there are only two sectors, that is, one is the government and the other one is the philanthropic attitude people who have to come forward and establish these centers. And at the same time, we have to propagate properly to the society also that palliative centers are not just those areas where they can leave their old incapacitated parents for them to be taken care of, because they are established with a specific purpose. This is what we see in the government hospitals. Wherever there is a palliative center, somebody will bring their elderly mother or father and they leave them there. That is not the purpose of palliative care centers. I think this we have to educate the society also about the utility of these centers. I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to be here and share my ideas. And I am sure in the days to come, this specialty will take rapid strides and will be available in every corner of this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your generous introduction. Respected Chief Guest, Dr. Abhishek, my dear friend, Dr. Subramanian, Dr. Joshi, Dr. Raghu, Dr. Rosgar, all the distinguished faculty who have taken the trouble of traveling distances to come here and educate us, and most important, the delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. At the outset, I'd like to really appreciate my friend here, Dr. Subramanian. He was one of the very early doctors who have actually relocated from England, having trained in advanced centers and brought this excellent anesthetic practices. So he's very well known for it. However, what is much more is that last 15 years, he brought this concept of palliative care, which was really literally non-existent at the time. And 15 years as a solo person, he fought, gathered various resources, and now stands a wonderful Spursa Hospice Center. I think we should be very, very grateful to the entire in-states, and of course the palliative community, Dr. Subramanian, and our friend Dr. Pradeep. In fact, we're so privileged to host you this wonderful conference in here, along with Spursa Hospice. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so honored to be in here. So honored because to meet you, stand amongst you, have such a highest regard for this particular specialty. Medicine is generally respected, in spite of being so much of commercial. We've been criticized for charging heavily. That's equal, but you are the real beacon of hope. You are the one really upholding all this wonderful wonderful service value. So the entire medical fraternity should be very grateful to you for that. I know there isn't much monetary benefit compared to other specialties here, but still you chose this patient. When that patient comes to the end of the road state, where there is no scope for cure, and you hold his hands, and you hold the family hands, and you give him this hope with your kind words, your compassionate words, that soft touch, no matter how much the technology developed, no matter what the machines, whatever, at the end of the day, that nice, soothing, comfortable touch and few reassuring words is the one that makes it. So I must have the highest regard for this particular field of medicine. Please continue to do that, and you'll come here in different parts of the country and with interaction with so many pioneers here, and I'm sure all this interaction would definitely help for you to serve better, more patients. So Vasutaraka Hospital indeed so glad and really privileged to join hands with Spasa to host this conference. And our chairman, as you just heard, unfortunately could not be here. So I could come and enjoy all this honor. Now, it is a team effort. We had the privilege of having a department there, a well-established department with dedicated multidisciplinary professionals. We have PhDs who are specialized in this field of medicine. We have social workers, we have physiotherapists, and psychologists. So this is indeed, I really, so important. And also, our specialists are involved well in the early part of the care rather than just taking care of the dying patient. So I think that's equally important that you are involved much earlier, and I'm sure that's going to influence dopamine of patient, that influence the betterment of the patient rather than coming right. And Dr. Ramesh Reddy just said, sir, it's so important that the government has to involve in this, and it is such a wonderful care, and you have to really establish and let people know. A conference like this, I'm sure, would go a long way to make more awareness amongst many public, and in particular the general public and medical professionals. So medical treatment is just not prolonging life. What is the point in prolonging life if you cannot give comfort and dignity? It doesn't make any sense, and that's what you're doing. Not just by merely, curing the, comforting the pain. There's a lot more in that mind, in that family. So that is equally important, and I believe that's what palliative care is all about. And dealing with those symptoms, this, body riddled with metastasis or whatever is like advanced stage in cancer. We see a lot of them. We have a 650-bedded tertiary cancer center, and for your information, it's completely not-for-profit organization, and we have a policy not to refuse any patients. Quite frequently, many patients come to us late stage, refused by other hospitals, or all the resources are exhausted elsewhere and they come to us. And many people come to us to die. And that's why we have a very deep relationship with our hospice and work together in many occasions. So that quality of life, that gentle touch, that compassion is the one what you people are providing. For many patients, death is not a punishment. Often death is a relief. People want to die peacefully, they want to die dignity. So we may not give more days to life, definitely we can give life to those remaining days. So this is what, and I'm so glad to be here again. They say, cure occasionally, relief often, but comfort always. That's what we are doing. I want to thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, for coming here and much more than that, for choosing this particular branch and dedicating your life for curing that pain instantly. So I really want to thank you. Make sure that you take care of yourself. Don't get too burned out. I can understand the psychological stress and strain you face every day in India. Please take care of yourself as well. Thank you very much. A wonderful remaining part of the conference, and I'm sure you would leave Hyderabad more enriched with knowledge, with experience, and particularly for those overseas guests who have come here to teach us. Thank you very much. Best wishes.
నా పేరు డాక్టర్ సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం. నా కొలీగ్ డాక్టర్ రాజు. మేమిద్దరము స్పర్శ్ హాస్పిస్ అనే సంస్థలో పనిచేస్తాము. నేను ట్రస్టీగా, ఆయన డాక్టర్గా. స్పర్శ్ హాస్పిస్ ఏంటంటే పేషెంట్స్ హూ హ్యావ్ నో ట్రీట్మెంట్ ఆప్షన్స్, వీళ్ళకి ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ లైఫ్ కేర్ సపోర్ట్ ఇస్తుంది.
సో
సో ఈ బ్రాంచ్ ఆఫ్ మెడిసిన్ ని పాలియేటివ్ కేర్ అంటారు. సో ఒక వ్యాధి చనిపోతున్నాడు, వాళ్ళకి ఏం చేయలేం మనం, కానీ ఉపశమనం ఇచ్చి వాళ్ళకి ఎండ్ పీస్ఫుల్ ఉండేటట్టు చూడాలి. ఇప్పుడు ఇలాంటి స్పెషలిస్ట్ దేశమంతా నుంచి వచ్చారు. ఈ పాలియేటివ్ కేర్ కాన్ఫరెన్స్ ఒకటి మేము బసవతారకం హాస్పిటల్ కలిసి హోస్ట్ చేస్తున్నాము. కాన్ఫరెన్స్ గురించి డాక్టర్ రాజు గారు చెప్తారు.
నమస్తే. ఈరోజు మేము 33rd యాన్యువల్ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ కాన్ఫరెన్స్ ఇన్ పాలియేటివ్ కేర్ జరుపుతున్నాం హైదరాబాద్ సిటీలో. ఇది ప్రతి సంవత్సరం ఒక్కొక్క సిటీలో జరుగుద్ది. ఈ సంవత్సరం ఐఏపీసీతో కలిపి పాలియేటివ్ కేర్ కాన్ఫరెన్స్ హైదరాబాద్లో చేస్తున్నాం. సో ఈ కాన్ఫరెన్స్ ద్వారా పేషెంట్స్ ఒక ట్రీట్మెంట్ లేనప్పుడు ఇబ్బందులు లేకుండా ఎలాగ ఉండాలి, సో రీసెంట్ అడ్వాన్సెస్ గత సంవత్సరంలో 2 సంవత్సరాల క్రితంలో ట్రీట్మెంట్ వైద్యం ఎలాగ అడ్వాన్స్ అయిందో, సో హౌ కేర్ హ్యాస్ ఇవాల్వ్డ్, సో ఇవన్నిటి గురించి ఈ కాన్ఫరెన్స్లో వచ్చే నెక్స్ట్ 3 days హైదరాబాద్కి ఒక 650 మంది ఇతర స్టేట్స్ నుంచి కానీ ఇతర దేశాల నుంచి కానీ వచ్చి ఈ కాన్ఫరెన్స్లో పార్టిసిపేట్ చేయడం జరుగుతుంది. సో ఆ ఇంటెంట్తో మేము on behalf of Sparsh Hospice and Indo-American Cancer Hospital, we are organizing this conference. It is a 33rd annual international congress. We call it as IAPCON 2026, which is being held at National Institute of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Hyderabad. Thank you.
ఈ కార్యక్రమానికి బాలకృష్ణ గారు రావాల్సింది కదా.
ఇండో అమెరికన్ చైర్మన్ గా బసవతారకం చైర్మన్ గా బాలకృష్ణ గారు రావాల్సి ఉంది. కొన్ని అన్యాయ కారణాల వల్ల రాలేకపోతున్నారు అనమాట. సో ఆయన వీడియో సందేశాన్ని పంపించారు. సో ఇనాగ్రల్ అడ్రస్ లో మేము అది కూడా ప్లే చేసాం.